Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. We've got a lot of hot action ready to happen, Rodrigo.
Mm.
You know, because Asmodeus.
Right.
The devil.
There is that. Yep. Oh, you were throwing it to me. All right, let's go.
Yes.
What happened last time?
On Critical Hit.
Critical hit.
Uncritical.
We beat up some golems and priests.
Yeah, and now we were going to maybe be able to control the golems and lead them to clear a way to the tower.
Okay.
Or at least make a nice distraction.
Yeah. So in addition to that, you guys did level up between games.
Hooray.
So
Yay.
just as a bit of housekeeping, here's some things that you need to figure out. One, figure out how much HP you were down after the fight and subtract that much from your maximum hit points. I'm guessing the majority of you had spent healing surges, so you're probably full, so you're just back to full, if that's the case.
Sweet.
Figure out how many surges you spent and then subtract that from your total. I'm guessing the majority of you had actually spent at least one healing surge.
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay.
I spent 5. So
Figure out how many that was and subtract that. And then here's probably the important one, or the most important one. Actually, surges are also very important, but the most important one. If you spent a daily, and that daily is a power you swapped out, you can, in essence, still have use of your new daily.
No, I chose the wrong daily to swap.
Right.
It was not. I spent my other two
fact,
dailies.
Yep. If you use the daily and that's not the one you swapped, then it is spent. So there is a possibility that some of you just really lucked out, and some of you just really kind of didn't luck out. You still, no matter what, everybody has access to their new daily, so it's not a big deal.
I did it! Yay! I swapped out the one that I used!
Yeah, there you go.
Magic powers.
I did not use a daily, so it does not affect me one way or the other.
That's right. So we have probably all three potential situations here.
That's freaky.
Yep.
All right. So now that that's taken care of, yes, you are in a nice little plaza, which is part of a row of plazas, which leads to what at first you saw as a massive wall, but you now realize is the lighthouse. Right. It is in fact so massive that, when you, I think you guys were heading north towards it, but if not, let's just say that you were heading north. When you look northeast, there's nothing but wall. When you look northwest, there's nothing but wall, and obviously in front of you. You also, again, it's so big up close that you can't really see the circumference of it. It just looks like a big old wall that goes on forever, or goes up forever. As you had pointed out, you have a couple of corpses, and along with that, you did get a pendant from one of the aforementioned corpses, and Randis had given it a try and managed to, in fact, get one of these red and black stone golems to move.
And we'd gotten a short rest and spent...
Correct. Spent some healing surges.
All right, so what's our plan now?
Well, that's our goal.
Use the golems, wreak some havoc, make for the lighthouse.
Are we ready for that?
I think we're about as ready as we're going to be.
Okay. Any particular thoughts on kind of havoc you would like?
We can't destroy this tower, can we?
That seems like a bad plan.
Does it?
It kind of does. I think we have to be in the tower, don't we?
Well,
yeah.
We do need to climb the tower. Also, the tower may be part of the just general power structure here.
Well, Maybe just, I don't know, maul any Asmodeans or agents of Asmodeus that we find and cause general noise and havoc that'll draw others away.
All right. Guess I'll activate as many golems as I can and send them into the forces and have them start punching.
Okay.
General Havoc mode.
You get one golem moving, but you have to like keep your concentration on it. You can, if there's another one in your field of view, you can get them both sort of walking in the same direction. But after a few steps, what kind of felt like some amount of like maybe feedback just kind of becomes a little clearer, and you see these like sort of like these images that flash into your view as you're moving the golems.
Here's something new. Kind of getting some visual feedback from the things.
Yeah, after a few more steps, like you get one pretty clear. It looks like you are lying down in a stone room, and when you look around, you see that you are plugged in to a bunch of tubes that are actively exsanguinating you, and you can hear Pine's voice in the background.
I'm hearing Pine.
Isn't that the dude we just killed?
Yeah, is his body still an eye shot?
Yeah, it looks dead.
They're like bleeding the golem?
Could this be one of the other timelines? Like a different you?
Do I think that's possible, or is this just like a golem memory?
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like you experiencing an alternate time. So yeah, maybe this is some sort of memory that like within the golem or something.
No, it doesn't seem to be another timeline situation, so I guess it's gonna be the past.
Wait,
maybe?
So how are these golems made?
Is like actually blood coming out of them, or what's pumping?
Yeah, so there's these tubes connected to your arm in the flash, and yeah, blood's coming out of them. It's like in a normal real world sense, like you're giving blood, except the tubes are very long and there's multiples of them, and the blood is streaming out pretty fast. And that is a human arm you see.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, in this memory, it seemed to be human. They're pumping blood from me.
So do they use, is that why they're called bloodstone golems?
That would be a good likelihood, I think.
That's super messed up.
Uh-huh. Also, controlling these takes a good deal of concentration. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do much havoc.
How do you know Pine is there? You can see him?
I can hear him.
What's he saying?
Can I make out? Is it still ongoing at all, or?
No, it was a flash, but you can try and move the golem and concentrate on it.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. You concentrate, and you see another flash. Pine is there. You are lying down in either the same or a similar room. He's talking to another pair of younger-looking Asmodean priests, and he's saying, yes. So, in order to get the properties we want, it requires, so many liters of blood per amount of residuum per amount of sort of tonnage you want to do. And one of the other priests is like looking right at you and kind of like points at you. It's like, sir, she's moving. And Pine looks over and says, oh, and just like basically picks up a pretty long, thin dagger and like stabs your arm, like basically pinning it to the table. And it's like, and you can feel the pain from it. It's just like, you just hold on for a second, and then turns around and then just keeps lecturing.
Okay. He seem to be doing a lecture about how these are made.
And you're a human. You're not not somebody we might know or anything.
I don't think so. I think it's just a donor. Probably not voluntary.
Can you see anything about yourself?
Can I?
You try it again?
Sure.
All right. You snap to a basically coming to. Somebody is dragging you. You're, wearing a big overcoat and a pair of slacks. You appear to be a large, burly man, and when you look down and what's dragging you, it is some sort of spiky demon. Olaf comes up to the demon and says, trying to escape. And the demon nods and he says, unwise. And he picks up his mace and just smashes you and the memory ends.
Okay, that was someone else there. Apparently an escapee who got caught. Yeah, they're pretty sure that all donors are not living anymore.
And they're using blood magic.
Yeah. Some blood mixed with residuum with the stone.
Well, that's incredibly disturbing.
Yeah.
Do you need to stop controlling them? We could try to just, move forward without them, or maybe you could try to just send them and then lose control of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I can try. Can I just maybe get it moving and just try to get it to continuously move on and see if that draws any attention, draws any troops away, anything?
Yeah, you pretty much have to maintain some amount of concentration to keep it moving. It doesn't take a lot of concentration to be like, okay, move that way. But it's the sort of thing that if it's not in your field of vision, you need to actively think about it. If it's in your field of vision, it's not that hard to send it forward.
I mean, as long as I got line of sight, it's fairly easy. But beyond that, I have to keep concentrating either way. I can try to get it going and, I don't know, draw attention elsewhere.
I mean, presumably you guys are moving forward, just keeping the golem moving to keep pace with you. You keep getting these flashes, and some of them are very vivid of literally just being quartered and things like that. Or just feeling really bad and nauseous and stuff, and just hearing Pine and Olaf having very casual, mundane conversations before one of them comes over and pulls out the canister that you're being siphoned into and puts in another one.
Yeah.
It was Pine that was controlling the golems previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we kill both of them?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
I know that the one that I hit was DED.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was. It may have been Pine.
Yeah, you guys got both of them.
Well, are you getting any closer to any kind of door?
No, not yet. Especially when Randus looks back at the amount of space that you've covered. It really seems like you've been doing this for a couple of hours. But it's only been literally just a few seconds of trial and error. I'm not saying that Randus is not getting how much time has passed. You just feel taxed from everything you've been seeing, because when you get a flash of a memory, it doesn't play out in real time. It's that memory's in your head and it plays, like a memory.
This is too taxing on you. We don't have to do it. We can figure out another way.
Can we make a door?
I mean, we've made doors before.
We don't really know much about this structure, and it seems to be anchoring the island. I would not blow it up.
I don't want to blow it up. I just want to remove a few bricks via force.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pure conjecture, but as big as this tower is, I'm guessing it's pretty thick, too.
That also seems plausible.
That makes sense.
Are there any windows on this building? On this tower?
Yeah, probably.
Wonder if we could summon some eagles and fly up to the top.
I'm sure they might have some sort of anti-air defenses, but
They got plenty of anti-ground defenses too. But I guess the alternative is on the ground we can run, whereas if we get shut out of the sky, we'll get splatted.
or if they can't even get to us.
I wouldn't count on the Eagles considering how much of our prior escapades he's aware of.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's also true.
I could scout ahead and see what I can find.
That might be an idea.
All right, I think I'll do that. You guys just try to stay safe. Maybe if you can figure out anything more with the golems, cool. If not, don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
All right, so Little Sparkle goes and scouts ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet. You move ahead, and basically, again, there's like lots of these little plazas. Some of them have these bloodstone statues to Asmodeus, which presumably are themselves also golems.
Mm-hmm.
But at least the first few ones that you get to don't have anybody in them. But as you travel after a little while, you hear Randus scream from back the way you came.
Oh, that's not good. I will run back.
Okay. When you run back, you just see Randus like sitting on the ground, kind of hyperventilating a little bit, and the golem had like stopped moving. Apparently,
What's
he just
wrong?
had it's just a bad one.
Particularly vivid memory. Sorry.
No, it's okay. But you should probably stop, because if you get one of those when we're trying to move forward, the screaming is not going to be helpful.
It's not. I'm gonna rest.
I don't think we're going to be able to do what we think we're going to do.
Yeah, not with those. Okay. Well, you just wait. Well, we can follow me. The next few plazas are basically empty, so we can move a little bit forward, and then I can keep scouting.
Okay.
You guys move forward a few more plazas, and sure enough, it's this area appears to be pretty empty. You also don't hear a lot of noise from out in front of you. Again, it's hard to tell exactly how far away from this tower you are, since it's so massive. But at least so far so good.
Well, how about I'll keep moving ahead and giving the arc clear as we go, so we know what we're walking into.
There's other like golems standing around, right? Like,
yep,
every plaza has them. Yeah, so if there's no need to control these things right now, I would not do it.
But by having this, we may keep them out of someone else's control, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be working on golems right now. I'll just kind of tuck away the amulet.
Okay. All right. So Little Sparkle goes forward.
Yep.
So you advance a little more. If you don't run into problems, you pop out and wave the other ones forward.
Yep.
Okay. And everybody moves forward when she does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that happens about a dozen times. As you guys move forward again, some of these plazas have those statues. Some of them are different. Some of them have like gazebos in them. Some of them clearly used to have gazebos in them that have been dismantled. Some of them have like maybe like an amphitheater. So they actually like have like downward steps that lead to a little dais kind of thing. But again, you don't really spot anybody other than, the odd golem. After a few times of that, Little Sparkle spots. Also, if you'll recall, these things are sort of edged by these hedges.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, Little Sparkle spots a head coming out of one of them.
What form of head?
It appears to be a human head. Light brown skin, long hair, male, just kind of coming out of it, but doesn't seem to be moving.
Does it appear to be dead?
Well, it's not moving.
I'll try to just sneak a little bit closer to figure out what the deal is.
Yeah. It doesn't respond when you get closer, so you could potentially get right up to it after, a
Yeah,
couple
I'll
of
try to figure
cautious
out
steps.
what killed him.
Yeah, it looks like he's dead and either died as he was being thrown through this hedge, or died and then was thrown through this hedge. Hard to tell by just having the part that's popping out of the hedge, but the hedge appears damaged, like he was thrown in this way.
Got it. Anyone I recognize in terms of or does he have any insignia or anything that?
Now that you can see his neck and shoulders, you can tell that he's wearing the same armor that you've seen on Asmodean soldiers.
Huh. Interesting. And when you say thrown, does it look like
kind of like the way that you throw a rowdy protagonist out of a bar, as opposed to the way that Fangs might uppercut a Drider into
that's
another
what I was
building.
asking.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it looks like it looks like, especially because it's pretty close to the ground, you can imagine a pretty normal parabola of grabbing somebody and forcibly flinging them and them stumbling forward or just flying forward and then, getting thrown through this pretty close to the ground.
So someone of very strong, but about human proportions.
Yeah. Someone between, it's it wouldn't Sakar might be able to get more height and distance, but definitely not something that's stronger than one of you guys.
Got it. Interesting. All right, I'll report, give a signal to everyone to keep moving forward then.
Okay.
And then point it out.
All right, you guys spot a head coming out of a hedge.
Oh, there's a head in a hedge.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure who killed him, but he looks like he's an Asmodee and someone maybe a little shorter than Sakar, but probably about as strong.
Is this your friends that went ahead, remember? Is this their work?
Fangs? No, that's not her.
It's not her work?
No.
Okay.
They went away from the tower.
They're not in this district. So I'm not sure who this is, but someone on our side.
Hopefully.
Keep moving forward, looking out for more corpses or a maker of corpses or not corpses.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Nat 1. So.
Okay.
Can I use always a natural to reroll that?
Sure.
To not very much better, but at least not a nat 1, a 25.
As you make your way forward, you can hear some commotion. It sounds like some battle sounds and some people freaking out. And so we'll say that you come around a hedge and to your left, you can hear some kind of scaredy sounds as some fighting is happening. Oh, where'd he go? At which point somebody just slams into you from the other side. It's an Asmodean soldier, and he just straight up knocks you down. He hits you so hard, but he really when you look at him, it's pretty clear that he wasn't expecting for somebody to be there. And he looks pretty panicked, and he's got his sword out, and just sort of as a reaction, looks like he's about to basically lunge forward and stab you, when his throat kind of slips open, a line appears in his throat, and he starts choking and bleeding and falls down and drops his sword.
Can I see who put that hole in him?
Nope. When he falls down, there's no one there.
She'll look around and say, "Thank you."
You hear a weird, distorted voice say, "You're welcome."
Who are you?
Oh, of course. Rude up. You see a sort of translucent yellow thing appear. At first, you can see through it, and it appears to be sort of closing. And as it does so, you realize that this is a bright yellow-orange flower that has just appeared in front of you. and as it closes, it becomes less and less see-through, so basically more solid to your eyes. And as it gets about halfway, you start seeing these vines sort of materialize that it's connected to. And as it continues to close, you see that the vines are wrapped around something, which then you can see is some sort of humanoid. And then when they close fully, you can see is an elf wearing leather armor and carrying a bloody sort of curved dagger, along with a pair of scimitars and a bow in his back. He is male. You have seen him before, but he's no one whose name you know.
Is he one of the people from Great Tigers Island?
Yep.
She'll.
He holds out a hand to
she'll
help
shake
you up.
it. How'd you get here?
We took a ship.
Oh, well, thank you. Good to see you. We hadn't heard anyone from Bleak Forest here yet.
Yes, we got here a few days ago. We spoke with we spoke with the Beachhead camp, and they suggested that since we could move quietly and invisibly, that we make our way here and see if we could open up some options for you.
Well,
by the way, that screaming that you heard a little bit ago ends with it like, oh no.
Nice. I didn't realize that you could move invisibly, but that's very useful. She'll give a gesture. 1 second, let me get my friends, and turn around and gesture for them to move forward.
All right.
You guys see a little sparkle. When you get to where she is, you see a little sparkle. You see a corpse with a slit throat, and you see an elf who is again wearing leather armor, but wrapped up in vines. And he's got the vines have a couple of big orange yellow flowers growing out of them.
Just flowers. So is that an effect of Zanam?
Yes, in a sense. These are the pumpkin blossoms that grew out of the gourd that Zanam has. And he learned to use them and taught us how.
Impressive.
Yes. You can see the flowers don't stand still. At first, it kind of looked like, maybe the wind was moving them, but they actually appear to be moving on their own. And literally one of them flicks behind him and then moves over to his ear and appears to say something. And he kind of waves it away. Yes. They are quite paranoid, but useful when you're in a tense situation.
That's fair.
They communicate with you?
Yes.
Are you able to communicate with Zanam or Lilaron through them?
No. We just learn how to wear them and how to keep them alive, and they work for us once they, I suppose, once they get used to us. It's a two-way street.
Well, thank you for joining the fight. We're trying to make our way towards the tower.
You guys can see another Asmodean soldier walking towards you, but before he gets very close, he falls over and he's got a couple arrows sticking out of his back.
Impressive.
Yes, we found a patrol coming out of the tower, so we've been trying to clean it up. I'm sure eventually they'll get wise to our tactics, but for now, it's been pretty easy to scatter them and hunt them down.
Ah, good. We're actually looking for a way to get into the tower.
Okay.
Have you seen one?
Yes, as far as I can tell, it has multiple doors and windows.
So you just need to keep moving.
Yeah, have you seen much more organized resistance between here and there? We were warned that there was some. Well,
no,
we were expected.
There are regular patrols, but we have, at the very least, broken up all of the ones that we found. So, if not, wiped them out completely. So, if you do meet any resistance, it'll likely be one or two soldiers Or, maybe the odd priest that has actually managed to get away, but we've been pretty good about getting those too.
Very, very good to hear. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Keep up the good work.
Well, we plan on it. We're going to try to clear everyone else out of here and then find a place to hide and wait for them to get their wits about them and then maybe try it again, depending on what exactly they do.
Sounds like a reasonable plan. Watch out for the statues. They are apparently golems that can be animated.
Oh, yes. There's something very wrong with these statues.
Yeah.
How so?
They're powered by human blood?
I'm not surprised. They give off a bad aura.
Understandable.
Well, anything we can do for you before we proceed?
No. Carry out your mission, and we'll try to help out here as best we can. I don't know what you're going to find inside the lighthouse, other than I am almost certain that the first floor or first few floors are just an enormous Asmodean garrison. So be careful of that.
Lovely. We'll do our best. Good fighting.
You as well. And the flowers open up and he fades away along with the flowers.
Neat.
That looks helpful.
Very. The gourds just keep on giving, as it turns out. All right, well, let's not waste any time.
Okay.
All right. You guys move towards the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you do that, sure enough, you find the odd corpse that has been either stabbed to death or arrowed, but nothing alive to get in your way. Although, again, every once in a while you do hear sort of from off somewhere else the sounds of like panicked running, which usually end with the sounds of like either bowstrings or some slashing.
Sounds like they have some of this covered at least.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, go ahead.
I was just saying we'll have to be wary, but it's good to that we're not alone here.
Yeah. Eventually, you guys can see a sort of an outer wall to the tower. It's not very tall. It honestly looks more decorative than anything else. It's probably maybe 5 feet tall with some spiky metalwork on top, but again, meant to be like reminiscent of like a compass needle or something, rather than like, it's got that functionality to keep like pigeons from landing on it, but it's not like a keep out. It's a look at our cool wall kind of thing. There is a set of sort of makeshift gates, which is has been like installed into the gap in the wall that is pretty clearly just meant to be a way for you guys to walk in, or for people to walk in, but they are open. Yes. So as I was saying, you arrive at a stone wall that is clearly more for decoration than to keep people out, since there are in fact just big open segments to it. However, makeshift gates have been built into those segments. And however, number 2, one of those, namely the one that's directly in front of you, is just open.
What are you thinking? Should we go, or is this an obvious trap?
I think we go into the obvious trap.
Okay.
It's probably better than trying to waste more time looking for another good entrance.
And that's why we go into the obvious trap.
Though looking at it, the gate, does it look like it's been just left open, or was there a fight here?
No, it looks like it was left open, but also you've seen signs of the pumpkin flower elves pretty close to here, so it's possible that they
cleared the way.
They attacked a troop as it was coming out, or right after having come out and before they got a chance to close the gate. So it could be that. Although there are no obvious big blood stains in the portal of the gate, essentially.
No signs that say free bird seed or anything like that.
There's
there's
painted on the wall.
There's just a It's a +1 sword, and then like a stick and a box.
Ah. Yeah, we'll walk
So
up.
how you
sneakily.
catch adventurers.
Mm.
Yeah, if you walk up, even if you cautiously walk up to the wall, basically there's just a big space between the wall, or between the gate and the wall of the tower, or of the lighthouse. And in between, like, again, this area is clearly meant to be like a what do you call it, like, not a civic, like, park kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's meant to be like an accessible, open, like, green space.
Like a city
So,
square.
yeah, it's not quite a city square, because this area, at least, like, so this is like a if you've ever been to, like, your state's capital, right?
Mhm.
Chances are your state's capital has a big old lawn around it, and, like, maybe, like, it's just like straight up near a park or something. So that's kind of it, right? It's like, here's a government building, they beautify the area around it, make it a place where people actually want to be around, and then, a fascistic devil force takes it over and, puts up ramparts and stuff. But yeah, again, you walk in and there's, like, benches and greenery and stuff. Some of it has been, like, clearly chopped down or burnt away, so they can, like, basically put little posts along the wall. But again, nobody in the immediate facility or vicinity, sorry. And then up ahead is the actual lighthouse and a big fancy, like, wooden double door.
Is
Or I
it
guess
open?
It is not open.
I'll investigate it.
Okay.
See if it's trapped and or locked.
It appears to be neither.
She'll shrug, like gesture to Sakar.
Any obvious places where somebody may be spying or watching?
Nope. I mean, yes, there are, but there's nobody there.
Either those pumpkin elves have done their jobs incredibly well, or something else is going on.
Which, could be either one, because, again, when you think about the posts that are up on the walls, those posts would be able to see a squadron walk out of the gates and then start getting killed by some sort of invisible force, and they would probably raise the alarm and go check, and basically go help. So if that has happened, that's why these posts are now empty. But also, it could just be something else. It's just not unreasonable.
Let us open the door to the trap.
Okay. Who opens the door?
I will open the door to the trap.
Okay. Sakar opens the door, and inside sees what probably at one point was actually like an indoor kind of like mall in the old-timey sense, not in the, like, Baskin-Robbins sense. Again, places to sit, a high ceiling, art on the walls, and things like that. But more importantly, has been sort of walled off, and cubicle walls have been put on. And Sakar is the first one to see it, but as if Ket peeks in behind it, he immediately recognizes what is very clearly a like a constabulary. There's, like, a front desk and a guy on front desk duty. They're all Asmodeans. They're all dressed and armed, and some paperwork is being shuffled back and forward. Probably a couple of, like, imps carrying messages back and forth and things like that. And when Sakar opens the door with a loud creak, definitely the people at the front desk, but also a few other people look over in you guys' direction. So let's roll initiative.
That's what I thought.
And Sakar can have a +5 since he was brave and upfront.
Ah! Wah, wah, wah.
Little Sparkle.
43.
Sakar.
36.
Randus.
35.
Orem
44.
and Ket.
Last 32. I rolled well.
All
I
right.
rolled a nat 20.
So, you guys find yourselves at the front door of what is clearly the largest Asmodean garrison in the island. Presumably, goals are find a way up and don't get killed.
Sounds good.
Sounds right.
And we will start with Orem at floor 1.
Where
Asmodean
is the
garrison.
most obvious exit out of this area besides the area we came in?
We'll say it's like straight across from you. There's another set of doors that might either. It's probably like they lead out of this room and will likely be either a staircase or another room. Like this place is big, but again, this lighthouse is huge. So likely there are multiple. Like you can fit multiple buildings in one floor of this thing, right?
Sure.
It's it's essentially a small city.
Yeah. Well, I first thing I'm going to do is try to clear a path to that door, probably with a force wall to keep everybody behind, as many as I can, as we make a mad dash to that door using
Okay.
Arcana.
Go for it.
48.
48 is a success.
Hooray!
Because of the way that the cubicles and the pathways are arranged, Orem is able to create a wall that pins most of the unsuspecting soldiers behind it and gives you guys a clear path to the door. When you open it, there's a staircase, which is going to take us to Little Sparkle, floor 2, Asmodean cafeteria. As you guys run up the stairs end at the next floor, and you guys basically bust into a place with a whole bunch more Asmodean soldiers, except they're all, kind of relaxing and eating at this like big old cafeteria. They immediately take notice of you.
Oh boy. What is the best way to deal with this situation? So I think she's going to basically start just like jumping like up on a lunch table and try to like lead as many of them as possible, kind of like on a merry chase to various areas of this thing, and try to like while the rest of the party makes their way across it, and then hopefully like rendezvous back, but just like trying to make like either like athletics checks to, or not athletics, acrobatics checks to stay away from them.
Sounds good to me.
I've got a 50.
50 is a success. Yep. Little Sparkle gets their attention, and then they all trip over tables and, run into the kitchen and back out of the kitchen and stuff, while everybody else scrambles to get to the across the room to what appears to be another set of stairs, and Little Sparkle's also able to get clear, which is going to take us to Sakar on floor 6, summoning hall. You, again, climb up some stairs. The stairs get you to, like an armory. You make your way across it, like some other stuff, like a couple of like hilarious things happen on the way. Eventually you find your way to another floor that has a bunch of summoning circles and some priests pretty much in an assembly line, just like summoning demons, handing them weapons and getting them out the door. As before, you basically have to make your way across this to get to another staircase.
How many priests are we talking?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that if someone were to cross the room at high speed in a crisscross fashion using their twin swords to knock over or trip or stab or mess up the priest's afternoon and really knock them out of the way, would that be more of an athletic situation where one is being an athlete, leaping from priest to priest and kicking and punching and stabbing to clear a way between them and, maybe slow down their summoning and allow my friends to get through.
Sure.
Hey, it's going to be awesome. Going to kick punch my way across the room.
It's all in the mind.
And it's going to be a 47.
47's a success. Sakar leads the way, slashing and kicking and punching and elbowing and headbutting his way through, and manages to get you guys to another set of stairs, which is going to take us to Randus. Floor 12, Infernal Machine Shop.
Oh, okay.
You make your way, and I swear these floors are set. I didn't specifically want to give this, wasn't trying to give this one to Randus. But yes, there are, Gatling guns and other devices being assembled here. There's some big ogre-type creatures moving them around, as well as, humans and tieflings working on them. Unlike other floors, because this one's so noisy, they don't immediately notice you. But, there really aren't a lot of obvious paths that are not going to basically have you walk through an assembly line or in front of like a what do you call them? Like a comptroller between you and what appears to be the only stairs away from here.
Can I do something with Arcana to kind of jam the assembly line and cause some sort of catastrophic failure to cause like a number of these devices that they're assembling to blow up, causing, distraction and injury and letting us pass through?
Sure.
All right, I will do that, either with a well-placed wrench or a well-lobbed Molotov cocktail, or maybe a combination of the two.
Mala wrench cocktail.
Well-placed Molotov wrench.
Wrench knife. Oh, there we go. 63.
Wow. 63 is a success. Randus, in fact, manages to gum up the works so spectacularly that it causes a lot of explosions and sparks, and people like jumping over things in slow motion while like explosions plume up behind them. And you guys are able to make it to the next to the stairs, which is going to take us to Ket at floor 21, Angel Reprogramming Facility. As you walk in, you see these like enormous coffins with chains around them, and you hear something inside like banging at them. There's also priests inscribing runes on them. And aside from that, I'll point out that you can hear like soldiers coming up behind you. Like they've kind of gotten their act together after, getting involved in like a wacky food fight, and they seem to be making their way.
So clearly there's angels stuck in these coffins.
Mm-hmm.
Can I gauge, or can I use insight to gauge what coffin has the most or the least reprogrammed angel? So as I can let them out and wreak chaos throughout the floor?
Yes, I will definitely allow this.
Oh my god, that's a 39.
Okay. That is not a success.
I'm going to spend my action point because... Actually, do I have an action point?
That
is a good question.
Might not have an action point.
I do not have an action point.
Okay. Is that a failure then?
I don't know yet.
No.
Okay. Have we hit a milestone? Or this would be
you
milestone?
You have not. You will hit a milestone at the end of this.
Okay. I couldn't remember if... Yeah, no, that's a failure. I don't have any way to reroll for myself. I have ways to reroll your guys's.
Okay. Ket gets it wrong, and in fact releases the most reprogrammed angel.
No.
So, collectively, who gets the worst of this?
Hi.
Ket's gonna take it?
I mean, I'm assuming since I opened it would make.
I mean, it's up to you guys, but if you want to volunteer, then that's cool. Everybody okay with this?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
pretty tough.
Yes, a very, very Asmodean angel bursts out of the coffin. It looks like a regular angel, but it's got these like chains that are like biting, like kind of like squeezing and biting into it. Angels in this world and in 4th edition, like don't have faces. They just kind of have eyes, but they don't have like noses or mouths or like any other features. It's just kind of like a bright white winged thing. Roughly humanoid, and it tries to kill you pretty hard. So, Rob, go ahead and in order to get you guys away, spend a daily attack power. And then let me know which one you spent.
We'll go with the vestige of Karmath.
Okay. Yes, you guys make a very, very narrow escape from this angel. By Ket having to throw ice, or what's Karmath do? Fire?
Karmath is necrotic.
Okay.
It also dazes
there you go.
when I miss.
It also what?
It's the one that lets me dominate.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, like, you're the wrong one. I'm gonna get what I wanted out of this anyways. Kill them.
All right. You guys barely make it out, which is going to take us to the top of the round, start of the second round, and is going to take us to Orem, floor 36, Dracula Factory.
These are like REM album titles.
So you guys get to another floor, and again, like you guys are like going through the majority of these floors, and like having dangerous adventures. These are just the highlights. Orem gets, or you guys get to another floor. It's like dark and it smells weird, and there are people in cages they're like, kind of like rattling the cages and screaming. And Sakar can immediately tell that the majority of them have been, probably either given vampire blood or have somehow been turned into vampires. And he isn't completely unsure that it's not actually like his family's specific curse. So, something else to write down and worry about later. But just because of how it all works out, Orem is up front here. There are priests that are administering blood infusions, I guess, as well as potentially some vampires that are loose and being either trained or indoctrinated in some way. And, the staircase is over there.
Yeah, staircase is over there. I think the easiest way to get through here is to grab some of those chains that are hanging from the ceiling and using acrobatics to weave around any vampires that may be reaching up through the cages. And as I swing around, kick some of those blood dishes into the priest's face.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Roll it.
42.
42 is a success.
Oh, good.
Orem leads the group, swinging chain to chain and kicking things over, and manages to get to the staircase. This gets us to Little Sparkle. This staircase actually leads out, and the staircase itself travels along the outside, partially along the outside of the tower, which takes us to roughly floor 58. Your legs are very, very tired.
Is that the only challenge of floor 58, or?
Yes, level 58. Your legs are very tired.
Oh. It's kind of a tough challenge for me to deal with.
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, I'd set these in order, and I'm like, well, if Sakar gets this isn't going to be a thing. But as it turns out, it's actually a significant challenge.
Huh. Then I think I'm just going to probably try to like make a diplomacy check to like basically act as kind of party cheerleader and talk about how well we're doing and that maybe it might even be a bluff check depending on how far I can tell whether we're clearly just around the corner. We can do this.
Yeah, you're definitely visibly not. But if you'd like to bluff it any way you can, same difficulty. It's up to you.
Sure. All right, I'll bluff it then to try to get everyone's spirits up to push them forward.
Okay.
I've got a 44.
44 is a success. Little Sparkle's motivation or Little Sparkle's affirmations. Keep your minds away from the incredible lactic acid buildup that we're dealing with here. Which is going to take us to Sakar at floor 107, Vertex Invasion Testing Facility.
Ooh.
There's some machines that are basically like lots of Asmodean guys, mostly humans and tieflings, like wearing goggles and lab coats, pointing machines at walls and trying to see if something opens, and sometimes nothing opens, sometimes something blows up, sometimes something weird comes through. So there's a lot of that going on. It's a pretty chaotic place, as usual, staircases over there.
So, if one were trying to find the safest way across, one could use one's perception to know when to duck under a monster and leap over a black hole and dodge whatever that thing is that's trying to eat everyone in this room.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right. So Sakar is going to use his eagle eyes, or his lizard eyes, whatever kind of eyes they are, flaming vampire tree man eyes, to sneak across the room with a really bad failure. Holy crap.
That is, in fact, too low. Got any rerolls there in your pocket?
I actually had a reroll on that one. It's a perception check. Is that something that Ket can reroll for us?
Nope.
No, it has to be like social stuff for Ket to reroll.
Jeez. I can be super social as I look. Hey, you guys, how are you?
I think maybe that was the problem, as you were being too social. Little Sparkle just amped you up too much as you were looking around, attracted too much attention to yourselves. So we're calling that a failure, right?
I'm afraid we'll have to.
Who gets the worst of it?
I do.
So go ahead and lose a daily attack power. And when you decide which one, let me know.
Then we'll go with Form of the Autumn Reaper.
Okay. Make a note of that.
Yep. It's on my list. Mad about it.
Yeah, basically, Sakar tries to keep an eye out for the best times to move, but he could never foresee a beam that is accidentally left on, has some sort of transdimensional monstrosity, drops from the ceiling and eats a bunch of the Asmodeans, but also you guys barely get away only by turning into a undead monster tree does Sakar manage to secure an exit. Okay, 2 failures there. It's going to take us to Randus.
Yep.
Floor 209, Drider Nest.
Oh.
The stairs lead you to a big open, or to a big vault. There are plenty of drow in here, rubbing goop on some egg sacks, and there's some big egg sacks hanging from the ceiling. There is a little bit of illumination in here, provided by candles and torches. And again, if an egg sack, if an egg sack is between you and, especially the big ceiling ones, between you and a torch, you can see the outline of a Drider inside. Driders being drow centaurs, except, instead of a horse, it's the spider. And, again, Asmodean soldiers, coming up behind you.
Oh, no. Okay. Could I roll religion to intone some kind of Lothian prayer that would cause them all to immediately supplant themselves and avert their gaze to let us go through without them looking at us?
I will allow it.
I will try beautiful. This. I'm going to use an action point, I think.
Well, 43 is a success.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay
Yeah,
then.
42 was a success.
Yeah.
So
Okay, then I go with my 43 on religion.
All
I just
right.
had to roll a 2.
Before anybody looks over, Randus shouts out some dark Vulgate in Elven. And yes, all the priests avert their eyes, and you guys are able to basically sprint through mostly unmolested.
I have no idea what I just said.
Oh, man.
This is really great because it puts us at
End of the round.
end of the round, which is going to take us to Ket
Yeah, it's not.
at floor 289, Staticide Golem Tasting Facility.
Oh no.
Wait,
The stairs lead you to another place that is a big workshop, and there are, in fact, a bunch of Asmodean artificers putting together a big golem critter along with a few smaller ones. They do seem to have managed to make them move, but possibly the most important thing here is that you can't use Arcana or Religion to get through this room, as there's way too much staticide in the atmosphere.
awesome. I'm going to use diplomacy to basically strategize us through this.
Okay.
I'm also going to use Speak with Spirits.
Okay.
To get myself a +3 on this.
Okay.
As Shadow is part of our tactics.
Sure.
That's my best chance at success at this point.
Nice.
Hey, I got there.
Nice.
43.
All right. Ket finds a workbench, gets you guys all behind it, breaks out the chalkboard, X's, O's, direction lines, and you guys are able to sprint through the facility, simultaneously causing lots of mayhem, but also not running into any major problems, which is going to get you out and beating this skills challenge with only minor losses. When you this particular staircase also leads out, and it basically leads out onto several kind of balcony like lookout areas as you go off the stairs. So basically, like up one floor, like balcony lookout area, up another floor, like another staircase, up another floor, balcony lookout area. As you guys are probably pretty tired at this point, but as you guys try to hustle up to the next set of floors, you make it to maybe like the second lookout area and hear a noise coming from out past it. It is a creature. It is a lady. She's got a beautiful face, blue skin, sort of bluish skin, pointy ears, a short pair of horns, long red hair, black armor, flaming sword, and a big pair of red wings, which is what you are hearing the flapping of. She probably also has a tail of some sort. She is approaching you, and as she does, she kind of rights herself up and then kind of floats towards you, holding her sword to her side. And you can see her eyes, which are have little glowy red dots, and she keeps her eyes fixed on Ket.
Mhm.
does she look like some form of tiefling?
No, this is almost certainly some sort of devil.
Can I help you?
She extends out her hand, and you guys see this because there's like a little bit of dust on the ground and stuff. You can see this like wave sort of emanate out of her hand towards you, and it kind of moves through you, and it's like a very like unsettling like split second as it does, and then past you, and a brick in the wall is pushed, and a secret door opens. Inside their secret door is a small metal room.
Oh, nice.
Those of you that are civilized recognize this as an elevator.
Oh, he stole elevator technology.
This was probably here before Asmodeus got here.
Fair enough. Also, this would have been so much easier if we had an elevator.
Thank you.
She just keeps her eyes on Ket. By the way, you guys hear, rah, 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 like the Asmodean soldiers coming from behind.
We should take this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like a gift horse in the mouth.
Can I get your name?
She, originally she had kind of like extended her hand out with like her fingers out. She like withdraws it slightly and then extends it out again, but this time with like a palm. And Ket is shoved into the elevator.
We'll follow.
Okay.
The elevator.
You guys feel that weird feeling again, and the elevator closes its doors, or rather, a clear pane comes up from the ground and basically becomes a fourth wall to the elevator, and the elevator starts going up, and you guys hear like.
All right, that wraps it up for this installment of Critical Hit. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on our adventures this week. Ooh, I was a little nervous there, Rob. I was really nervous on that last roll. But you pulled through. Good job.
If you hadn't used
what
it, plus
was
3,
the target number
dead.
for this one?
Well, 41. Ooh, I was really nervous because when I calculated earlier, I thought I had to hit an 18 or 19 in order to succeed each time. And I was pretty close.
I had an 85% chance of success on my first roll.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
That's why I still make Brian roll.
Well, Brian had some great rolls tonight, and dear listener, I hope when you sit down at the gaming table, all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2020 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.